What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego back with some more boxing. Now, it looks like 2014 is rapidly shaping up. You got Timothy Bradley versus Manny Pacquiao Part 2, kind of a grudge match, a set the record straight type of match. Anxiously awaiting that. Earlier today, they announced Carl Froch versus George Groves 2, another great rematch. So it looks like that's going down. And things are heating up with Ruslan Provodnikov and Brandon Rios, a potential match that they're talking about making. I told you guys on my channel last year, early last year, I would say first quarter, that this is a fight I wanted to see. Rios versus Ruslan. Great fight, hellacious fight. Both fighters have very similar styles in the fact that they have granite chins, they're tough, they come forward, they come to throw, they have power, and they have that mean streak. So I think it's an excellent fight. Here's the latest. Ruslan Provodnikov tweeted to Brandon Rios and said, "Rios, I'm ready to fight you, but your representation says you can't make weight. You should figure out your promoter slash manager issues." Bam Bam Rios responded with this. At Provodnikov, "Well, I'm telling you at 140 I'm ready, so stop talking and fight then." Dan Rayfield jumped in the mix and said, Ruslan, Rios. Aram said to me today he will not make this fight at 140 because you can't slash won't make weight. So that's the latest. Hopefully they get these weight issues kind of ironed out. This is a fight I would love to see for the fact of it'll be a great brawl. It'll be a great, tough battle of attrition. Some people might say like Ruslan's gonna kill him. I don't necessarily think that. I think Ruslan is a great fighter, but this is to me a 50-50 fight. Some people I feel are very fickle in the sense of when these fighters lose, like when Nonito Donaire lost to Rigondeaux, when Canelo lost to Mayweather, when Brandon Rios lost to Pacquiao. Some people immediately write them off like, oh, they're garbage, they always suck, they were overhyped, they were overrated. But you got to look at the competition. When you're fighting a Rigondeaux, not that much pro experience, but he has a ton of experience in the amateurs, which basically equates to the same thing. He learned a lot on the job. When you have 400 plus fights, trust me, you fought the different styles. You look at Mayweather versus Canelo. Canelo's young, bit off more than he could chew. He went up against someone who's been in the sport 17, 18 years and is the pound for pound #1 guy, Brandon Rios. Manny Pacquiao. Pacquiao's been in it longer than Mayweather in terms of his pro career. He's an elite fighter. So when Brandon Rios stepped up, he wasn't able to crack that Pacquiao, you know what I mean, the Pacquiao offense. And there's no shame in losing to a great fighter. And a lot of people write fighters off. I look at how people lost and who they lost to. That says a lot. When a fighter like Zab Judah loses to Paulie Malignaggi, a fighter he is capable, in my opinion, of beating, and he loses in the fashion that he lost, you were even gifted a knockdown point, you know what I mean, in I think the second round, and you did nothing with it. You let Paulie Malignaggi box your head off. Zab Judah is a southpaw. He has power. He's an athletic fighter. He's probably faster than Paulie Malignaggi, and he did nothing with that fight. So those are the types of losses that make me question if a fighter still has anything left in the tank or if they could do anything in the sport still. But Canelo losing to Mayweather, no. Nonito losing to Rigondeaux, no. He lost to a great fighter. Same thing with Rios. You lost to a great fighter. You went to Macau, China. You were out of your comfort zone in terms of you were fighting in somewhere that was foreign to you. And you got outclassed by an elite fighter. Pacquiao's proven that. So I don't write people off like that. If Brandon Rios lost to like some bum or, you know what I mean, someone who he shouldn't have lost to, then that's one thing. But he was the underdog in the fight. He lost to an elite fighter. The end. Plus, you got to look at it. Pacquiao is known for speed, angles, power, and that was all on display when he fought Rios. Look at Ruslan Provodnikov. He's there to be hit. Ruslan Provodnikov is a great brawler, one of my favorite brawlers in the game right now. But he's there to be hit. It's more or less a battle of will, a battle of attrition. If you can't hurt him, outbox the shit out of him, or get him out of there, then you're in for a very long night. And both fighters actually have the same style, in my opinion. They come forward, relentless pressure, mean streak, power, and a tough chin. So this is a hell of a fight. I hope the fight does go down. I was on board with it last year. I'm still on board with it. Just an overall great fight for boxing fans. This is the type of fight that could draw in a casual fan who's not really a diehard fan. If you said Miguel Vasquez or Terrence Crawford or somebody like that, they're not going to know those guys. But this is the type of fight that someone could just be flipping channels, see it, and be like, oh, let me start checking out more boxing because this is great stuff. This is potential fight of the year candidate written all over it. I would really love to see this. I would be anxious to see how they stack the card, if this is the main event or if this is an undercard. To me, I think it could be a main event. Great fight. I don't write Brandon Rios off because, again, you lost to a great fighter. And you lost to Mike Alvarado, who was giving you a lot of movement. Ruslan doesn't really give you that finesse and that movement, and he's not gonna move his legs like an Edeslandi Lara. He's there to be hit, like I said. So totally different style fight. It's just gonna be blood and guts and willpower, full speed, like full steam ahead. You know what I mean? It's that type of fight. So whoever breaks who down first, whoever hurts who first, and potentially someone's getting knocked out in this fight. And neither fighter, to my knowledge, has been knocked out in the pros. So this is a great fight. Really a true battle of attrition. Hopefully they can iron out the weight issues. I would prefer to see this fight happen at 147. Rios is currently serving a suspension for testing positive for some type of diuretic in the Pacquiao fight. He wasn't able to make weight, so he had something in his system that wasn't supposed to be in his system. So he's currently doing that suspension, so it can't happen before that. And I don't know, like Ruslan's saying, I don't know if Rios could legitimately make weight. And if the fight's going to happen where he has to starve himself out and he has to kill himself to make weight, then it's not as thrilling because Ruslan is not the type of fighter you want to be not at your best with. Like, if you can't comfortably make weight, you don't want to fight a guy like Ruslan. If you have to kill yourself and you're drained and weak, you don't want to fight a guy like Ruslan. Too relentless, too much pressure, too good of a chin. So I'd prefer to see this fight at 147. Plus, that's less weight for Ruslan to lose. And Ruslan showed that he can go up to 147 and his power transition. He showed that in the Timothy Bradley fight where he moved north and went to 147 and gave Timothy Bradley a hellacious fight of his life. Probably the worst beating that Timothy Bradley's faced in the pro level. Part of it stems from Bradley fighting with a chip on his shoulder, but you got to give credit to Ruslan Provodnikov because not every fighter is going to make you in that vulnerable position. If you look at it, Bradley could fight with a chip on his shoulder and actually get away with it against a lesser fighter, but Ruslan Provodnikov had a good game plan. He applied the pressure. He had the type of style and the power to make Bradley pay for fighting like that early. So you got to give Ruslan credit, even though Bradley, in my opinion, fought a dumb style of fight. I think he could have outboxed over the course of 12 rounds of Ruslan Provodnikov, but he fought with a chip on his shoulder. But that doesn't take away from, it still takes the right type of fighter to capitalize on another opponent's mistake or piss poor game plan. So Ruslan Rios, I'm looking forward to it. I thoroughly want to see this fight. I will take the day off and make sure I get my popcorn, order a pizza, whatever, because this is a fight. This is must-see TV if this does go down. So hopefully Bob Arum, the guys over at Top Rank, get this done. Let me know what you guys think. Do you want to see it? Do you want to see it at 140? Do you want to see it at 147? Do you not want to see it? Why or why not? Leave a comment. Let me know what you guys think. As always, hate, comment, or subscribe. Till next video, it's Ego signing off.